As the trains rumbled past my childhood home, I would often find myself standing by the window, staring out over the endless cornfields that stretched as far as the eye could see. The rhythmic clatter of the tracks seemed to echo my restless thoughts, stirring a longing for something beyond our small farming community in rural Oklahoma. Back then, the idea of leaving the humble farmhouse where I'd been raised felt almost impossible. Yet, in hindsight, I realized how deeply that simple country life shaped the person I would become. The people, the values, the daily rhythms, they are all threads woven into the fabric of my being, lessons from the heartland that have guided me through every twist and turn of my journey. Growing up in the 1970s, our little town was a tight-knit community where everyone knew each other's names and stories. The trains were more than just a means of transportation. They were our lifeline to the outside world, a symbol of connection to the big cities we could only dream of. Each evening, as dusk settled over the cornfields, the distant whistle of a train would signal the arrival of new news and possibilities. Freight cars would rumble by, carrying goods and people to destinations far beyond our reach, igniting my imagination about what lay beyond those tracks. My father was the embodiment of hard work and dedication. As a farmer, he taught me the values of grit, honesty, and the importance of community. Mornings began before dawn, with the sun barely peeking over the horizon, and our days were long, filled with a steady rhythm of planting, tending, and harvesting. Despite the laborious work, there was a quiet pride in what we did, a sense of purpose that came from working the land and contributing to our town's well-being. Mother played her part with grace and kindness. She maintained our home with unwavering dedication, ensuring that our family was nourished and comfortable. But her role extended beyond our household. She was a pillar of support for our neighbors, always ready to lend a hand or share a comforting meal. Simple acts of generosity, like inviting the widow Mrs. Abrams over for dinner or helping a neighbor in need, fostered a sense of belonging and strengthened the bonds that held our community together. Life in our small town was simple, yet it brimmed with happiness. We didn't have the luxuries or the excitement of the big cities, but there was a richness in the relationships we built and the traditions we upheld. Evenings were spent under the vast Oklahoma sky, watching fireflies dance in the twilight or gathering around the radio to listen to the latest music and news. It was a life that, at the time, felt both confining and comforting, a paradox that only became clear as I grew older. From a young age, I yearned to break free from the confines of our farming town. While I helped my father on the tractor, my mind often wandered to different dreams. I imagined myself on stage, playing guitar for thousands of adoring fans, or devising big business ideas while milking the cows. My parents, though amused by my ambitions, did everything they could to nurture my talents despite our humble circumstances. When I was 16, my father surprised me with an old Gibson guitar he traded our plow horse for. That gift was more than just an instrument. It was a symbol of his belief in my dreams. I spent countless hours practicing, letting the melodies harmonize with the distant train whistles, finding solace and inspiration in music. Mother's influence extended beyond her culinary skills. She hosted dinners that became the heart of our community gatherings, inviting neighbors like Mrs. Abrams to share in the warmth of our home. Mrs. Abrams, despite losing her husband years earlier, remained a beacon of resilience. She tended her garden with unwavering dedication, often bringing over a pie or extra tomatoes with a smile that could brighten anyone's day. At these dinners, Mrs. Abrams would regale us with funny stories and town gossip from decades past, creating a tapestry of shared memories that made us feel part of something larger and enduring. My first job was at Cole's Gas and Feed, a local establishment where I pumped gas and bagged animal feed. It was more than just a job. It was an extension of our community. Farmers from all around would come, their tractors chugging up to the pumps, filling their tanks before heading back to their fields. I enjoyed the camaraderie, chatting with customers as I cleaned their windshields, the scent of tractor exhaust and fresh-turned earth mingling in the air. Mr. Cole, the owner, was a man of few words but generous spirit. He allowed me to take home leftover biscuits and chicken from the grill out back, often saying, "Hard work deserves a good meal," with a wink that made the hard days a little easier. This strong work ethic was woven into the very fabric of our town. After high school, I would watch as dedicated farmers tended their fields before dawn, then shifted to full-time factory work to make ends meet. They found joy in the simplest of things: a cold beer after a long day, spinning tales around a bonfire, watching children chase lightning bugs in the yard. These stoic individuals, though reserved, carried a depth of character that commanded respect and admiration. Their example taught me the value of perseverance and the dignity of honest labor. When I turned 18, the opportunity to pursue my dreams became a reality. With a mixture of excitement and apprehension, my parents drove me to the bus station in my father's rusty old pickup truck. The moment of departure was bittersweet. As we hugged goodbye, my father handed me an envelope stuffed with cash he'd scraped together from selling his prized tobacco harvest. I wanted to refuse, to prove that I could make it on my own, but he insisted with eyes glistening with both pride and sadness. "Follow your dreams," he urged, his voice steady despite the emotion swirling within him. With a final rumble and a cloud of fresh exhaust, the bus pulled away, the dawn sun casting a golden glow over the fields as I embarked on the journey toward the new horizons I had always imagined. City life was a whirlwind of bright lights and endless possibilities. Initially, the success seemed to come easily. Some of my songs found their way onto the radio, and I played to packed venues, reveling in the energy of the crowd and the thrill of performance. Glamorous apartments replaced the simplicity of the farmhouse, and the allure of the big city was intoxicating. But amidst the highs and lows of fame and fortune, there was an underlying current of longing for the simplicity and familiarity of home. The farmhouse, with its quiet evenings and the comforting presence of family, remained a constant in my thoughts. I found myself reminiscing about lingering suppers with Mrs. Abrams, the stories that made us laugh, and the peaceful nights spent bumping along dusty backroads with my father, chewing straws, and simply enjoying the ride. Despite the successes and the glamorous lifestyle, the enduring impact of my rural upbringing never faded. The values instilled in me by my parents, the importance of community, hard work, and staying true to oneself, remained my guiding principles. As I navigated the complexities of adult life, these lessons from the Heartland provided a steady foundation, reminding me of where I came from and who I was at my core. Now, as an adult with a family of my own, I find myself cherishing those simple roots more than ever. Taking my son fishing at the creek brings back memories of my father teaching me how to hook a worm, the patience and precision required for a successful catch. Watching my daughter practice piano reminds me of the melodies I once played on my old Gibson, the music that first ignited my passion and ambition. Seeing my children laugh and play together, I understand why those little moments mattered so much. They are the building blocks of a life rich in love and connection. Life has taken me down unexpected paths since those carefree days in Oklahoma. The bright lights of the city have dimmed, but the lessons from the Heartland continue to influence every decision and every step I take. I emphasize to my children the importance of being kind to their neighbors, taking pride in hard work, cherishing time with family, and enjoying the journey, wherever it leads. Though I now reside in the bustling city, my hope is to pass those values to my children, ensuring that the richness of life is found not in fame or fortune, but in our shared human experiences and the connections we make along the way. Whenever I hear a train rumbling off in the distance, it transports me back to the place that made me who I am. Those humble roots, surrounded by cornfields and the steadfast rhythm of rural life, connect us all, grounding us in a shared heritage and a sense of belonging. The Heartland taught me that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the relationships we build, the values we uphold, and the memories we create. It is a legacy that I carry with me, a testament to the enduring power of home and the lessons learned under the vast Oklahoma sky. Years have passed since I first left the cornfields of Oklahoma, chasing dreams that once seemed so distant. Life in the city has brought its own set of challenges and rewards, but the essence of who I am remains rooted in that small farming town. As I watch my children grow, I see reflections of my own youth, the same curiosity, the same drive to explore, tempered by the wisdom imparted by my parents and the community that shaped me. The journey from a farmer's son to a country singer was not just a pursuit of ambition, but a testament to the enduring influence of home. In every song I write, every melody I play, there is a piece of the Heartland, a whisper of the cornfields, and a reminder that no matter where life takes us, our roots are always there to guide us back.